While I'm perfectly happy with Workflowy being a text-only affair 99.9% of the time, there are occasions I enjoy having images display in Workflowy. It's not a common use case of mine, but having images in Workflowy does come in handy once in a while. For instance, take a look at a recent random outline of mine. In this outline, I'm comparing an extracurricular math course called Come On, which my daughter already attends, with an online course called IXL. Now, when gathering information, one of the things I like to weigh in the balance are the pluses and minuses of anything. Let's expand this pluses outline. And there in the mix, you'll see a screenshot I captured of their price chart. I figured that a screenshot would get the job done quicker than typing out the price categories. Here's another outline of mine where I've pulled in the first 6 Kelvin and Hobbes comic strips, which showcase the first appearance of what Kelvin calls the transmogrifier. This is clearly a case of a picture is worth 1,000 words. Suffice to say that whatever your reason for wanting to display images in Workflowy, I'm sure there's a darn good one, and whether you're overdoing it or whether you're using this dynamic sparingly, you be the judge of that. So how do we do it? Well, we're going to install a TemperMonkey script and just leave it be. Set it and forget it. So I'm leaving a link in the description box of a shared Workflowy list which will take you through the super basic steps to install the TemperMonkey script you need, and the CSS style, which we're going to take a quick look at right now. So here's the code. There's not a lot to it. In fact, you don't really need it. Images will show up in Workflowy even if you don't have the style. It just styles things a bit better. I'm going to toggle it off and on now. See how with this style it has a beautiful box shadow, which makes it stand out really nicely. And also you can adjust the size of your images. In fact, that's the only thing you may want to change up here. Over here you see I have a maximum width of 600 pixels. See what happens when I change it up to 300 pixels. Well, we get 300 pixels. And then up to 800 pixels. A little bit too big for my taste. And finally back to 600. That's the way I like it. So you decide on the width of your images. Also, another way of changing up the size of your images is by giving it a percentage. Here I'm going to change this up to 80%. It stays pretty much the same size on my screen. Now, if I were working on one of those massive iMacs, it'd be a lot larger. Let's change it to 50%. And now 25%. That's just thumbnail size. 100%. And finally, just because I'm a little bit OCD-ish, let's leave it the way it was at 600 pixels. So that's the code, but how about in Workflowy itself? What do we do in Workflowy to make the images appear? Okay, so rule number 1. Put your image link into a Workflowy note. You won't see my links because I've put them into the second line of my notes. So when your note is collapsed, you don't see them. That's a great way to tuck them away, out of sight. So then there's rule number 2. We've got to wrap our links in the right syntax. So here you see I've got an exclamation mark, and then a set of square brackets, and then a set of round brackets. Your image link goes between the 2 round brackets. So let's move to another outline. We're now going to go hunting for some images on the web. Let's go to Google Images and search for dogs. Let's take a look at this British Bulldog. Yep, I like that image. So let's right click on our image and copy image address. Now let's head on back to Workflowy. So now I'm going to set my image link up in a note. And to do that, you hit Shift Enter, and I'm going to pop it into the second line of my note. And here's the syntax. First, an exclamation mark, a set of square brackets, a round bracket. I'm going to paste my link and close it off with another round bracket. And there's my image. As simple as that. As you can see, any image that ends with a .jpg, .png, or any image files, those are good to go. Then there are images we pop into storage services like Dropbox. Here's what we do with Dropbox images. You'll see that in my note, I've already pasted my Dropbox image link. So once again, our exclamation mark, a set of square brackets, a round bracket, and at the end of our Dropbox share link, we're going to have to change the 0 to a 1 and then close it off with a round bracket. There's our image. Well, that's all there is to it. Now remember, with great power comes great responsibility. I can't quite remember where I heard that, but anyways, go ahead and pop images into Workflowy responsibly.